Cardio machines. There are lots of them. Which one is the best? Which one is the worst? We'll go over a little bit of that info today. There are so many to choose from. We're only going to go over a couple of them. So let's go over the pros and cons for some of the most common cardio machines. The first is a treadmill. One of the reasons it's good, it's a life skill. We should all be able to walk, jog, because you're upright, it does work on your posture and your core, and it is easy to get your heart rate up. Most treadmills, you can adjust the speed and the incline, like you're walking uphill. And one of the good things is that it can be a high impact activity. So as long as your body's ready for it, it's good for your strength, for your muscles, your bones, and your joints. But that can also be one of the negative things about the treadmill or running, is that it could be high impact also. So if you do have joint problems, bone problems, jogging, running might not be the best place to start. And similarly, if you do have problems with balance, this could be an issue. Most treadmills have handrails, but ideally you shouldn't be gripping onto those for dear life anyway. Similarly with ellipticals, because you're standing upright, you still get that core activation. It's, again, easy to increase heart rate since you can move it faster and you can change the resistance. One of the key things about ellipticals is that it is low impact. Your feet are attached to the ground and it just moves together. So there's no slamming on the floor. It takes all that impact away and it's easy on the joints. Some of the most common cons, especially if you're just starting out on an elliptical, it can be very awkward to use, and pacing yourself on there can be challenging. I've seen a lot of people go a lot faster than they need to be going, but try it as best as you can to avoid that. Just try to go at a comfortable speed at first, just to get used to the activity. Steppers and step mills. What's the difference? The picture on the right is a stepper where your feet just move up and down. A step mill is like a treadmill with stairs. It actually moves and you keep climbing. Similar to the ellipticals, it's fairly low impact. As your feet strike the ground, it could be arguable that it's a little bit higher on the impact. Super easy to get your heart rate up. If you've never climbed stairs before, I encourage you to do that. And you can get core use when it's used correctly, especially on the step mill. I see people leaning forwards and using that death grip to hold onto the rails. Try to be mostly upright and use the rails just for balance. Cons, especially the step mill. This one in the picture doesn't look too bad, but there are some step mills where the first step is probably, I don't know, at least 12 inches high, if not more. So it can be really challenging to get on the machine, especially if you already have some sort of joint condition. But if you had to pick between the mill and the stepper, I would go step mill as more beneficial, stepper as less beneficial. Rower, great total body activity. You use your arms, you use your legs. It's a little bit of strength and it's a little bit of cardio all in one. So one of the cons, similar to ellipticals, it can be awkward to use, especially if you've never done it before. And despite the great benefits, I think one of the cons about this is that you're sitting. We all sit enough in daily life, so get off your butt, get moving. Upright and recumbent bikes. The picture on the right is an upright bicycle. The recumbent bike is the picture on the left where the guy is seated with a backrest. So great low impact activity. It doesn't require any balance. You're sitting. So if you have an injury, this is a great way to get your cardio in. The cons, because you're sitting, you're using less of your body. So it's harder to increase your heart rate, and there's minimal, if barely any, core engagement, especially on a recumbent bike, because you're fully supported. But again, if you want to use more muscles at once, upright bike is a little more beneficial than the recumbent bike. So here's my unofficial order. Everyone might have their own opinion on it, but for me, the most effective to the least effective, at least for the machines that we've discussed, is this order here. So in general, the more muscles you can use at once, the better it's going to be for your body. And of course, stay connected. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, complaints, or snide remarks, shoot me a message, leave it in the comments. But otherwise, we'll see you in the next fitness video.